Hello everyone, myself Mr.N.Vincent, Senior Subject Master of Economics, Ops and Pol School, Darjeeling, and you are watching my channel THINKONOMICS. Thank you very much for your support. Day by day we are moving ahead. The number of subscribers are increasing, and in these 2 months I got more than 500 hours of view time. That's fantastic. And more than 5,000 view I got. That's very good, fantastic. And thank you very much for that. And as promised to all my students that we will bring the expert in maths to help our students to excel in the ICSE examination 2023. So today we have with us Mr. Vincent, who is a former head of the Department of Mathematics of St. Paul's School, Darjeeling. Mr. Vincent is also having 35 years of experience in teaching mathematics for ICSE and ISC level. Mr. Vincent is also the coordinator of the maths exam for the council in the previous years. Welcome, Mr. Vincent, in our channel THINKONOMICS. Mr. Vincent, as we have gone through the syllabus of 2023, what are the changes you find in the math syllabus as compared to the syllabus of 2022?
In 2023, in similar triangles, that chapter, there is an extra addition, which is the application of basic proportionality theorem. And in circles, in 2022, you had only numerical problems will be asked.
All
But
right.
here, this year, meaning 2023 examination, you will have questions which may be like proving or theoretical problems, like apart from numerical questions. And again, in 2023, you have constructions, which was not there in 2022. So these are the changes.
All right, my dear students. So the major changes in the similarity circle, you used to solve only the numericals. Now, according to sirs, that even you have to prove the theorems. So you have to practice the theorem properly, and construction, which was not there in 2022, maybe because of the online lessons. Now the constructions will also be there. So take a note of this. This is important for you, and the council will definitely test on the new additions to the maths syllabus.
Not the theorems, not proving directly the theorems. Proof of theorems are not there, but the application of theorems. Like,
All right. So
right,
as I said, it is the applications of theorem which are more important for the boys and the girls. So if we start with the commercial maths, banking are there, and GST numericals also are tested by the council to our boys and girls. What are the common mistakes that the boys make in the GST, or where the boys and girls they find difficulties in solving the numericals of GST?
Okay, before going into GST, while calculating tax or tax liability, there are two parts like output tax and input tax. So input tax is the tax on the purchase price and output tax is the tax on the sale price. So for example, a shopkeeper, his tax liability will be the difference, output tax minus input tax.
Okay, sir.
That will be his tax liability. So when you look at the chain like manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and customer, for a manufacturer, there is output tax only. Okay. He is selling it to the wholesaler. And the wholesaler is buying it from the manufacturer, so he has to pay tax, which is input tax. Then he is selling it to the retailer, so he is collecting tax. So that is output tax. Okay. So his tax liability will be output tax minus input tax. Same thing with the retailer. While buying, he has to pay tax, which is input tax. And while selling to the customer, he has to collect tax, which is output tax.
Okay.
So his tax liability will be the difference actually. Output minus input.
Input tax.
And for the customer, it is only one tax, which is the full tax he has to pay while buying. So that is the chain there.
All right. So, sir, according to you, suppose a student, all right, a student, if we calculate the output tax of the manufacturer, then he will not have to calculate the input tax of the wholesaler, because as you are saying that the output tax of the manufacturer will be the input tax of the wholesaler.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So boys and girls, you can save your time in this way, that you do not have to calculate again and again the output and the input tax of each and every, suppose for the manufacturer, for the wholesaler, for the retailer, because the output tax of the manufacturer will be the input tax of the wholesaler. Thank you very much, sir, for helping us, sir. One more thing I just want to know, that in case of factorizations and polynomials, suppose for example, if I give you one example, that 7x is cubed plus 6x square plus 4x plus of 5. So what are the difficulties or what are the problems the boys faces in the examinations?
Okay, this chapter, factorization, basically, you will be given a polynomial and you will be given a binomial. So a polynomial has to be divided by a binomial. So there are two theorems which we apply over here. One is the remainder theorem, and the other one is the factor theorem. So when a polynomial is divided by a binomial, what could be the remainder without directly dividing it?
Okay, sir.
So that theorem is applied over there. Okay. Then whether to check a binomial is a factor of a polynomial, we use the factor theorem. Okay. So first of all, see, we have to assume the given polynomial as fx. Then it could be divided by 4 types of binomials: x plus a, x minus a, or ax plus b, or ax minus b. So one of these 4 will be the binomial. So what should be the, suppose fx is divided by x minus a, then fa, meaning x is equal to a, you have to put it in the polynomial. Okay. If it is x plus a divided by x plus a, then x is equal to minus a, you have to put, which is f minus a. You have to find as the remainder. Okay. So for if similarly, if it is ax plus b, then x should be minus b by a. You have to put. If it is ax minus b, then it will be x should be plus b by a. You have to put it in and find the remainder. Okay. So when you put, for example, say x is equal to minus b by, say 2x plus 3, you are dividing a function, a polynomial fx by 2x plus 3, then you have to put x is equal to minus 3 by 2. Okay. So there will be x cube term, x square term, x term, constant term will be there, plus minus in between. So one mistake boys are making is the calculation part. Okay. You know, when you put x as say 1 by 2 or minus 2 by 3 or plus 2 by 3, then x cube, the cube of that, and simplify, you know. So that part I have seen boys making, or students making errors, mistakes. That is one part they should be very careful about.
All right. Means you are saying that when they are putting the value of x in the fx equation, yes. they are making the mistake. Yeah. So even sometimes I think the council also asks to factorize, isn't it?
Yes.
They give the equation and then factorize it. So here, what actually I found while going through the pupils analysis of the year 2020, I saw that sometimes the boys and girls, they're not while writing the factors, they are putting comma between the two factors. So do the council in that way ask the evaluator to deduct any kind of marks, or they will not be penalized for that?
No, there are 2 ways of writing the answers. First, you can write the factors are, then you can put comma.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to write the given polynomial is equal to first factor into all in brackets. Like.
Okay.
So if they put it in comma, then they can say the factors are.
Okay.
Otherwise, the polynomial is equal to the first factor into second factor into third factor. Like maximum 3 factors will come. Okay. And again, while factorizing, the given polynomial, you have to find by trial method one factor. So one factor you have to find by trial method. Then you divide the full polynomial by the given one factor which you found out. Then you will get a quadratic expression. Again you factorize that. That is how you completely factorize. So there is normally in the given polynomial, the last number, the constant, factors of that constant, you can check with the factors of the constant with the plus minus, plus 1 and minus 1. That is always there. So you have to check with x is 1 first, then x is minus 1. Then suppose the last number is 5. Then you don't have to check with the 2 or 3.
Okay, sir.
Understood that?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So by tile, you have to find one factor like that. After that, you divide the polynomial by that one factor. Then you will get the quotient as a quadratic expression, which you can factorize by any method.
All right. So basically, first of all, the boys, they have to find it by the trial and error method. You are saying the first factor. And then for the second and third factor, they have to divide and find out the quotient. All right. And what you said, that's very important, my boys, my dear boys and girls, as I said, that if you want to write the comma, you have to say the factors are, then you write, suppose x minus 2, comma, suppose x plus of 3, just for an example. But if you do not say the factors are, then you have to keep it in the product form.
The function, given function fx or given polynomial fx equals to first factor in bracket all three brackets.
Yes. Thank you so much, because I know the boys sometimes they make this kind of silly mistakes. Okay, saying that sir, we'll get a full marks on this, but they lose this 1 or 2 marks silly mistakes from here. So thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us on this factorization.
In some cases, instead of finding one factor by trial method, they will give a binomial and they may ask to prove that this is a factor.
Okay.
So they have to, the remainder has to be 0 then.
Okay.
Suppose x might prove that x minus 2 is a factor. That means x is equal to 2. If you put f2 value has to be 0.
Okay.
So then it will be easier. Then divide the given polynomial by x minus 2 and you can find the other two factors.
That's fantastic, sir. That's fantastic. Okay, for helping our boys. So this is another way the question can be tested by the council to our boys and girls. So, sir, now coming to the ratio and proportion, where the students they find difficulties, our survey team has found out is that the applications of componendo and dividendo, all right, componendo, dividendo, invertendo, and addendo. All right. So in this case, when they are under the time pressure after doing the GST, okay, factorization, coming now to this ratio and proportion, how will they be able to know that will they apply invertendo or the addendo? Is there any easier way for our boys and girls to know that which will be better, which one to apply there to do it fast and get the correct answer?
Okay, ratio and proportion, mostly proportion, right?
Yeah.
We have proportion only. So it is actually equality of two ratios, So two ratios meaning two fractions. So on left hand side there will be a fraction, on right hand side there will be a fraction. Suppose A upon B is equal to C upon D, like that. In that format only we apply all these properties,
Yes.
So componendo dividendo also, like if A upon B is equal to, or A is to B is equal to C is to D.
Yes,
that means A by B is equal to C by D. That means clearly one fraction on left hand side and one fraction on right hand side. Then you apply this componendo dividendo. But componendo dividendo is what? If A by B is equal to C by D, then A plus B upon A minus B is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. That is componendo dividendo.
Yes.
So when you see that fraction on the left hand side, the numerator may have one single term or many terms. Numerator also may have one term or more terms. But the terms are supposed to be almost same. The in between sign could be different.
Okay, sir.
Understood that? Suppose if the numerator has got two terms, say 2x plus 3y, and the denominator has to be 2x minus 3y, then you apply componendo dividendo so that it will be reduced. It will come down
Very simpler term.
to simpler terms, simpler fractions, then the required thing you can find out the value of x or whatever it is. You have to prove something that you can find out. So that is where you have to apply componendo dividendo. Suppose the numerator is 2x plus 3y and the denominator is say 5x minus 7y, then there is no point in applying componendo dividendo over there. You know, so you have to sometimes what they give is instead of giving two fractions as such, two products will be given. Like AD is equal to BC format will be given. So you have to bring it down to A by B is equal to C by D. Then start applying component dividend. Some cases what happen, either left hand side or right hand side may be a single term like a number or x. Then you have to put it upon 1. You know, if it is x, then you can put it upon x upon 1. Then apply componendo dividendo. You have to have two fractions on both sides.
Okay, sir.
That is where you apply componendo dividendo. Even other properties also you apply same way. Yeah.
All right.
But in componendo dividendo, as I told you, most of the cases the numerator denominator terms are same, but the sign may be different, plus or minus, like that.
Okay, Mr. Vincent, I just want to know, some of the students, they ask me that suppose if they write the answer, suppose they got the answer 7:5, just for an example. But many times the students in hurry, maybe, all right, maybe they have not practiced it properly. They are writing, suppose they are writing the answers as 7 divided by 5, means 7 by 5 in a fractional form. So, will the council give the full marks for this?
Yeah, it is correct. I think there is nothing wrong in that.
All right.
7:5, we can express it as 7 upon 5.
7 upon 5, that can be okay. And suppose for this component and dividend, for this proportional part of the ICSE's maths, if the boys or a girl, if they can find the answer in a different way other than applying the component and dividendo, will he or she get the marks?
Okay, but some question it may clearly mention that you have to use by using componendo dividendo. Other cases it will be mentioned by using the properties of proportion. So you have to use that.
Means it will always be
you
mentioned.
Have to apply any of the property.
Okay, all right. So, okay. So, my dear boys and girls, this is another important thing, that if you think that you will solve the equations, all right, the proportional equations, in that case, it will not work. You have to apply the properties of componendo dividendo, or maybe invertendo or addendo, whatever is applicable, that you have to apply. Now we'll come to another easy portion where council gives lot of stress, what I found. That is the statistics part.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So statistics parts, again, it is divided into mean, median and mode. Yeah. And in mean, we know that there are direct method, shortcut method, and step deviation method. If the boy or a girl, if he wants to do only the direct method and maybe the shortcut method without doing the step deviation method, how far it will be practical for him or her to do well in the examination?
See, if the question, if it says that using this particular method, shortcut or step deviation, so the students must follow that. Suppose if it is like simply finding the missing frequency or finding the mean, so they are free to use any of the three methods, which is easier for them.
No, do the council, they mention that
yes,
they have
sometimes they mention.
Even the step deviation method?
Yes, they mention by shortcut or by step deviation.
All right.
Yeah. If it simply says find the mean, then the students are free to use any of the methods. Three methods.
And by a chance, suppose a student, he has been asked step deviation, a boy or a girl, he has used the shortcut method. Okay, sir. So in that case, as an examiner, what you will do? Will you give him some marks, or you will?
No, it's like it has to be discussed in the meeting. No, the examiners, they discuss all these things. So by general consensus, they may get marks. It depends, like
you being the coordinator, what you would have done?
No, it's actually particular method is ours. The students are supposed to apply that method. So they may not get full marks. They may get
But they will get some marks.
Yes,
At
correct.
least the steps, to
Correct.
some extent, the steps marks
Correct,
they will
correct,
get.
correct.
All right. Okay, so boys and girls, please you try to apply the method which has been asked by the council. But by a chance, if you forget and you do a different process, okay, there is no need to worry. According to sir, all right, you will definitely get some kind of, you will get some marks at least for the step.
Yeah.
Now, sir, coming to the Ajay, right? Coming to the Ajay, there basically the students have to find the cumulative frequency, and on the basis of that, they have to do the draw the Ajay curve.
Yes.
Can you just enlighten our students that how the Ajay curve will be constructed on the basis of the lower boundaries and the upper boundaries? If you can enlighten, because here also the boys, some boys and girls, they find some difficulties.
No, first of all, before going to construct the Ajay, they have to make sure that the classes are in the continuous format.
Wow, that's
meaning
very important.
they should be in boundaries or in true limits. You know, so first make sure that if it is not, they can make it. They know how to. They can make it into boundaries. That is one important thing. Secondly, there are two Ajays. One is less than Ajay, one is greater than Ajay.
Yes.
If it is simply Ajay, it is less than, because that is widely used. So for constructing the less than Ajay, on the horizontal line, meaning the x-axis, they have to take the upper boundaries or the upper limits. That is that must be the true limit, meaning boundary issue.
Okay.
You know. Then on the vertical line, on the y-axis, they have to take the cumulative frequency. Then plot the points corresponding to every class, whatever is the cumulative frequency, that they have to plot it neatly. Then using freehand, they have to join the points. That is how you make the construct the Ajay.
So, sir, generally, as you are saying, it is the less than Ajay which our students will have to practice more. The council generally takes the less than Ajay. And for the less than Ajay, as you are saying, that they have to plot the points on the upper boundary.
Horizontal line, meaning on the x-axis, upper boundaries of each class. And on the vertical line, meaning the y-axis, they have to plot the cumulative frequencies. One mistake I've noticed is that they, instead of the cumulative frequency, they take the normal frequency.
Okay. So here also you have to be very much careful, my dear boys and girls, as I is saying that sometime maybe in a hurry, all right, instead of cumulative frequency, you just put the frequency and plot the graph, and then definitely you will not get the answer for that. Sir, now coming to this one, as you are saying that the Ajay has to be constructed on the freehand.
Yes.
Now, sir, the way you will join the dot in freehand, my way of drawing this one, joining the dots in the examinations will not be the same. It differs from person to person. Now, in that case, the answer will vary to some extent.
Yeah.
Do the council expect the exact answer, or they give the range? Maybe suppose the exact answer is 14 and the council is asking that if the answer is between 13 and 15, the boys and girls will get the full marks.
No, the slight variation is accepted, but the points cannot be different. The plotted points for all will be the same.
Yes, sir.
And while joining the points by freehand, whatever according to you, if you have done your steps correctly, everything correct, and you have drawn it, so your answer will be okay.
No, I am what actually.
So others' answer may be slightly different. It may not be much different.
All right.
It cannot be.
The median. I am talking about the median. Suppose the median.
Yeah, that's what I am saying. Yeah. It cannot be that far. I mean.
No, do they give the range of, suppose as I said, the example, the exact answer is 15, and the council says that if the answer is maybe 14 or 16.
No, that far it cannot be. Maybe 14.8 or 14.9 or 15.1.
All right, okay.
It never happened that. If it is that far difference of 1 unit, that means something is wrong.
All right, okay.
So plotting the points must be correct.
All right.
Proper pointed pencil should be used to plot it. And freehand, you can join it. It will come almost same, every.
And the graph paper generally will it be of 2 centimeter or 1 centimeter?
2 centimeter. Normally it is 2 centimeter.
Normally it is 2 centimeter, and they have the boys and girls. They have to specify the scale also. Isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So this is one thing about the Ajay. Now coming to the last portion of these statistics, that is the histogram. All right.
Yeah.
So to find the mode, generally the students will have to use the histogram. So in this case, what will be the easier way for the boys to approach the histogram sums?
No, histogram is almost everyone will get it correct. And easy to do also. Over there also, one important thing is that classes must be in boundaries. The class interval should be in the continuous format. That is very important point. Then secondly, locating the mode. So the mode will be in that class which is the longest bar, which has got the longest bar. Okay. So you have to cross the line to the adjacent bars.
All right. The preceding one and the succeeding one.
Yeah. Then while crossing it and the crossing point, from there they have to drop a line down to the horizontal line, and where it touches that point, you have to clearly find out.
All right. So
that will be the mode. Yeah.
So basically, as I was talking with you, I understood what I understood is that boys, first of all, they must be writing the scale properly. Second thing is this one, the class, if it is given in a discontinuous form, it has to be converted into continuous form. For the ogive, if it is a less than ogive, then the point has to be plotted on the upper class boundaries. All right, and for the to find out the mode from the histogram,
both the class boundaries should be plotted.
Yes, both each class. All right, that has to be done.
If the class is starting with not starting with 0, suppose the class is starting with say 40 to 50, 50 to 60, then that 0 you have to just cancel it by putting a zigzag line. That one class should be cancelled. I mean left blank. Then they have to start with 40, because 0 to 40, then you start with 40 to 50. So the same distance cannot be. I mean there will be a difference, no? So they have to cancel that. If the class is not starting with 0.
Okay. All right. Yes.
First class.
First class. Yes. So thank you very much, Mr. Vincent, for helping our students in the portion of commercial maths, ratio and proportion and statistics. We'll be talking with you. We will be enlightened more by talking with you in our coming in our coming videos. Till then, thank you very much. And my dear boys and girls, I hope the way Sir has explained you regarding the approach for your maths examination 2023, it will be quite helpful to you. And if you do like our channel Thinkonomics, the way we are trying to help our boys and girls to appear for the council examination, please do share our videos with more number of students so that we can reach to the rarest to the remote areas of West Bengal and India. Thank you very much for watching. Namaskar and Jai Hind from Mr. Navaran Mandal.